Hello everybody, welcome to Sparkless Inspiration. How is everybody? This is going to come out just a little bit late because there's a lot going on today, but I wanted to use some of these beautiful cards. What a funny, crazy day. I tell you, it's like I was all over the place and at the post office, and it was just like a fun adventure of a day, but I saw the most beautiful sky on my ride home on the highway. It was something out of like a Botticelli painting. It was so beautiful. It was this powdery silvery blue, and like the light coming through, and like right in the middle of it started raining. So it was like one of those rainbow ready moments, you know, like blue sky, but then gray coming over and silver coming through. It was so amazing, absolutely beautiful. I'm just gonna have a breath because I've been racing and I just want to have like a calm moment. I love this, and I just want to talk about the center card because I want to talk about sapphires for one sec, because sapphire endows the wearer with wisdom and spiritual strength, and this stone really enhances clarity of thought and opens you to deeper powers of your imagination and your ability to focus with logic and objectivity. So with this helping us also promoting a realization of who you really are, it inspires you to live with integrity and keep true to your own beliefs when faced with difficult choices or circumstances. Like, I'll give you a particular. I had a chocker block day and I'm running around, I'm trying to problem solve for some clients, doing things, getting packages out, filling international forms out at the post office for stuff that I'm shipping overseas. And then Hagen gives me a call while I'm trying to pick out, like, I haven't had time to do laundry, so I'm like, hell, I'll just go buy a new shirt for tomorrow's volleyball game. He's so excited. He had practice every day this week. Come to find out, they're so disorganized in their nurse's office and stuff like that. And his coach is like, oh, you have to have your physical form of your physical from your doctor. He tells him this on a Friday night at 6 o'clock the night before the game, where of course all the doctors are going to be off. And I mean, my doctor is excellent, our family doctor, and lots of times he's at the hospital. So there may be a way we can wing by the hospital if he's working there tomorrow and pick up a form on the way. But I thought, you know, the ineptitude of the whole system to let somebody know hours within, you know, their highly anticipated fun, you know, adventure to go play in volleyball, that you're not gonna be able to play if you don't have this document, which is already faxed over. They already have that part. But it just, you know, sometimes you initialize something and you think, okay, it's all set, but you just don't you know, expect that things fall through at the last minute because people just aren't paying attention to what they should be paying attention to. But I just took a deep breath and I was like, you know what, you can't let it upset the whole apple cart, because you have to be objective about this, right? So we can focus with logic. Things can be done. Maybe there's a chance they can still play. Somebody can go over to the nurse's office and find the damn thing. But we all have had that, right? Where it's like somebody just isn't putting in the effort that they need to make things easier for us. And it's unfortunate, but it's one of those things that when we look inside and we take a deep breath, we realize, okay, so sometimes there's difficult circumstances, but I love sapphire because it made me think of that stone. That's why I chose this card. And I feel like it enhances the qualities of fairness, objectivity, and freedom from unnecessary need. That's like wanting, you know, that forever wanting. And I feel like as humans, unfortunately, we do have this. Another example, I was just I love that weird store. It's, what the hell is it? It'll come to me after. But they have crazy good sales and they have really interesting things in there. But it's easy to go like bonkers because you're just digging through everything and it's set up well. But then they have these like 70 and 80% off racks and you can just go absolutely crazy in there. And it's one of those things where I was like, okay, you only need a shirt. So what are you doing? Why have you been in here an hour? You know, that incessant want of putting things together. And sometimes I just like to look at things and touch things, and I'm rarely out of the office or the house because I'm always working. But I didn't have these unnecessary needs and think I needed anything, which was really nice. And it helps us truly know our hidden talents and potential for manifesting our life's purpose. And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be able to get in on this. And that brought me to another really cool idea. I think what I'm going to do too, and is a good idea for a lot of us, is you can make a bracelet to remind you of your priorities. Keep your priorities in mind. It can be a challenge, right? So maybe if you crafted two bracelets, one for a current priority and the other for future goals, it can help you keep priorities in front of your mind and be a conduit for positive change. And I love that idea because I love that these were stones. I feel like good luck stones Any of the green stones work. Motivation stones, any of the red stones, garnets, rubies. I'm always wearing red stones because I feel like they galvanize. I'm wearing turquoise right now just for protection and also just spiritual guidance and calmness. A lot of the blue stones, very great for calmness. And, you know, you can wear them and the one that suits your mood best, or both, or wear them both at the same time. You can plan and illustrate your design, select colors and materials that symbolize your goals. Bracelets can be simple, natural, and inexpensive, or more elaborate, whatever you want. You can have a totem on there. You can have a butterfly, things like that. Like, I just love that idea. And I'm actually going to do that tonight because I was thinking sometimes when I visually see a reminder, it's very calming and I get to assert. But let's get to generosity right now, because I feel like nothing pays off like having a great, generous heart. I love my little dudes at the drive-throughs at the coffee places, and I'm always throwing them, you know, a 10 or a 20. Whenever I have cash, I always give them that. And they're so sweet and warm, because I remember doing cafe work and I was really happy at the end of the day. It was like, yeah, I had this extra money from the tip jar that I could get things, and it was such a nice, you know, feeling like, yeah, I can stop by and get some, you know, deluxe snacks and things like that. And, you know, just the warm smile that reminds them that they're worth it. They put in the hard work and somebody notices. Or also generosity within your family. Somebody does a little bit of something, a little cleanup. Really be generous, whether it's with money, time, or someplace you're going to take them, makes them feel good. And it's just, I've always been really fortunate that the majority of all my relatives and the people that raised me and I was around were very generous spirits, monetarily wise, time wise, just amazing people. I remember my stepfather was an absolute genius, and I lived with my dad and my mom and my stepfather. We, you know, it was like I would bounce back and forth because it was in the same town. And I remember my stepfather just being an absolute genius at everything. Like, he could retain, you asked him any poem and he could just recite it by heart. And he was amazing like that. And he was a writer and unbelievable individual. And I remember how generous he was with his time when I was having some kind of issue with a paper or something that I had to do. And he would really get to the bones of the issue. You know, he wouldn't just try to do or give me the answers. He'd be like, well, what do you feel about this particular poem or this writing? And then I remember just spending hours talking to him about what things invoke in feelings and all this great, just beautiful, multi-layered experiences. And I think we need to do that every once in a while with family members. Take a deep breath and go, why would you rather be doing something else? Why would you rather be looking at your computer screen or playing a game when you could be talking to your child or a relative about something substantial, right? So be generous of heart. And I feel like the universe is going to be generous with you. I feel like you are due a really beautiful, abundant moment and have things come in. Sapphire insight. Look inside and be like, what am I missing? You know, what did I miss today that brought that vibrancy, that light, that zhuzh, that thing that made me feel really great? Like, every once in a while, I'm super fortunate. I'll just go on my comments or go over to my IG and connect with one or two of you. And I'll just be amazed at like the tenacity you have to just go after the things you want, and the fortitude and the love that you have. And we need to reach for those things that lift and make us feel good. I love this self-actualization with ruby. And it's funny, I'm wearing my ruby ring today. I love rubies because I just feel like they bring it. They just bring that energy, and they just get the blood flowing, and they just really, again, it's a really good heart chakra kind of stone for me. But self-actualization, again, saying, was there a moment today when I was less generous or less kind than I could have been? Am I stopping and creating space in between things so I can have reverence and love and care for a moment, right? Like, I always do that. I do not go in a store if I don't have time to be in that store. I don't go in the post office if I don't have time to be there and start hemming and hawing. And I have a crazy little post office story. It's one of the wealthiest towns in the U.S., this particular post office. And people have some primo pharmaceuticals, obviously, that were in there because, like, they're just, you know, it's obvious. It's almost like they're inebriated, but they're on like something, but it's some primo stuff because they're still functioning, but they're in friggin' la la land. And it's like this one lady pulls down her mask so she can whisper to the guy, these are real documents. These are real these are real original whatever, birth certificates and so, and I have to get them to California, and I'm really scared they're going to get lost. So she's like, I want them certified, I want them tracked, I want them verified. And it was so funny. It was like comical. I'm like, oh my God, if I had my phone out, I'd be filming this shit, because this is good stuff. She was on some primo grade stuff, but it was hilarious. But I thought, the weirdness of pulling down your mask so you could get closer and whisper like I would, or anybody else is going to attack you for these original documents. It was just really weird. But it was one of those things where I was entertained, and because of the fact that I left time in between where I was going, I wasn't in a hurry, and I wasn't pissed off at this lady taking 20 minutes to explain her predicament, because she wanted everything signed, sealed, delivered, and certified, and accounted for big time. And it was really funny. But let's really take a look at ourselves, and let's not be shy. You know, are we aggressive at times? Are we impatient? I'm impatient as hell. That's one thing I know, that I have to take deep breaths and just say, hey, you have all the time in the world. Whatever is meant to get done will get done. Just relax. Because you know what I do? I'll conceptualize a schedule in my head, and I'll think, this is fine and dandy, and this is what I'm doing. And if I don't kind of adhere to that, I get upset. Like if I have, you know, I feel like, oh, I wanted this done by this time, and now I can't do this. And I was like, you know what? You're not meant to do everything that you have on the agenda. It was like, do one thing, do it well, close that tab, have time in between, make sure you're eating, enjoy things, do something nice, and then go on to the next. And a lot of, while we're doing this self-actualization, we'll realize we don't need to do quite so much, and we can take it easy on ourselves, you know, and have a little fun in the mix. So that's your daily pop, you guys. I am going to sign off because I have some work to do, and I'm really excited. You know, I think something that might be nice we can do for ourselves too is maybe write yourself a nice love poem, something that comes from your heart and soul, you know, during this moon that's coming up. Write a love poem for your partner, or for yourself, right? And it doesn't matter if you're a writer. Just think of the best aspects of yourself or this person, and then just let the pen flow and see what comes up. I'm like, I feel a lot of people are really getting into an artistic binge now during this beautiful new moon phase that's coming up, and I'm excited for people because it's a really feel-good time, and we all need that, right? So you guys, where I think we're all going to gain a little insight and feel better about where we are and where we're going, by just pausing, relaxing, and refraining from just trying to push too hard, and just get in the flow state and feel good about things. So love and light, you guys. I'm going to go upload for you.